All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on an absolute television titan. I mean, a show that took high fashion, mixed it with even higher drama, and somehow became a global phenomenon. We are, of course, talking about The Bold and the Beautiful.
Okay, let's kick things off with a number that is, well, it's just staggering. At its peak, The Bold and the Beautiful wasn't just, popular. It was a daily ritual for an estimated 26.2 million people. Think about that for a second. That's more than the entire population of Australia, tuning in every single day. Wild, right? So the big question is, how do they do it? Seriously, how does a 30-minute American soap opera completely take over the world? What was the secret formula? The magic ingredient that made millions of people stop what they were doing and tune in? Well, we're going to break it all down. Okay, first up, the Forrester family dynasty, the foundation of power. And really, the answer to that big question, it all starts with family. But listen, this wasn't just any family. This was the Forrester dynasty, a total powerhouse built on glamour, ambition, and oh my gosh, so much simmering tension. They were the absolute foundation of everything.
So let's meet the original players, shall we? At the head of the table, you've got the power couple. Eric, the brilliant, visionary designer, and Stephanie, the tough-as-nails matriarch who would do anything to protect her family's name. And their kids? Oh, they were perfectly set up for drama from day one. You've got Ridge, the golden son, the lead designer, and then there's Thorne, the younger brother, always living in Ridge's shadow. I mean, the conflict was practically baked into the family tree from the very beginning.
And this is absolutely key. The show's biggest, most explosive dramas, they didn't come from some outside villain twirling his mustache. Nope, it all came from inside the family. Every single storyline was a battle, a fight for love, a fight for control of the company, or, just a desperate fight for their parents' approval.
All right, next up, the fashion empire. Glamour, ambition, and intrigue. See, the Forresters weren't in oil or, banking. Their kingdom was the ridiculously cutthroat world of high fashion. In this setting, this was the second secret ingredient to the show's success. It gave all that drama this incredible visual pop, a level of pure glamour that other soaps just couldn't touch. And at the heart of that world was Forrester Creations. You've got to understand, this wasn't just some office building where the characters clocked in. No way. It was a character in and of itself. It was the prize they were all fighting for, the grand stage for all their triumphs and their messy failures. It was the very source of the money and power that defined their entire lives. And this setting, it was just an endless well of delicious conflict. You had storylines about stolen designs, these epic, over-the-top rivalries with competitors like the one and only Spectra Fashions, and, of course, the constant, ruthless battle to see which Forrester was going to end up in that coveted CEO chair. It was basically Succession, but with a whole lot more sequence. Okay, moving on to the eternal love triangle, the heart of the story. Because look, for all the family feuds and the corporate backstabbing, the true emotional engine of this show, the one thing it's probably most famous for, is this legendary, decades-long love triangle. And at one corner of this triangle, you have Brooke Logan. She was the ultimate outsider from the Valley. She was smart, she was ambitious, but to the Forresters, and especially to Stephanie, she was just this schemer, this opportunist who would never, ever truly belong in their world. And the man she was after? Well, that was Ridge Forrester. He was the golden son, the star designer. He was the ultimate prize. He becomes the absolute center of the storm for this series, constantly torn between what his family expected of him and what his own heart desperately wanted. And of course, every great love triangle needs a great rival. Enter Dr. Taylor Hayes. I mean, she was everything Brooke wasn't. She was polished, sophisticated, a respected psychiatrist. You get the picture. She was the perfect choice, the one Stephanie completely approved of, which just created this perfect, inescapable, amazing conflict. And I really need you to understand, this wasn't some storyline that lasted for a season. Oh no. This love triangle defined the show for decades. For more than 30 years, audiences were absolutely hooked on this back-and-forth cycle. Ridge chooses one woman, only to be pulled back to the other through countless marriages, breakups, people being presumed dead. I mean, every kind of crazy emotional roller coaster you can possibly imagine. So here's the crucial takeaway. This triangle, it was never just about who Ridge was going to kiss next. It was so much bigger than that. It forced every single character on the show to pick a side. It tested family loyalties, it sparked these epic betrayals, and it really became the thematic heart of the entire series. It defined the show for generations.
Okay, let's wrap this up with a worldwide legacy, the formula for global success. So, let's recap. We have the 3 pillars, right? A super powerful family, a glamorous setting, and an epic love triangle. But that still doesn't quite explain how it became a global juggernaut. How did this specific formula make it the most watched daily drama on the entire planet? Well, the secret to its global success was really a kind of perfect storm. First, it was only a half-hour long, which made it super easy for TV networks all over the world to fit into their schedules. Second, the whole visual vibe, that LA glamour, the high fashion, that's a universal language. It looks good no matter where you are. And maybe most importantly, those core themes of love, betrayal, and family drama, they hit home just as hard in Rome or Johannesburg as they do in Los Angeles. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? I mean, The Bold and the Beautiful perfected this formula in a totally different era of television. Today, with streaming and binge-watching completely changing the game, what's the future for these huge, sweeping stories of glamorous people with glamorous problems? Does that classic formula even still work? So, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this little deep dive, please be sure to like this, and hey, subscribe for more breakdowns just like it. Thanks so much for watching.